The difference between us is that I can feel pain.
Sounds like a real boogeyman. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
Not to mention the fact that you're talking to a dead guy.
There's someone else in the hotel with us. There's a crazy woman in one of the rooms.
It's got a death curse.
This isn't science. It's more like black magic.
Your specimen has been processed, and we are now ready to begin the test proper.
Hello, my Night Owl friends, and welcome to a very special episode of Pumpkin Hill Radio. I am your host, Travis Wormwood, and with me, as always, is my co-host, your co-host, Dawson Trailer. And someday I got to figure out how to say that. I say it so weird every time. Welcome to Pumpkin Hill Radio. Every week we dig into esoteric topics, paranormal mysteries, true crime, I guess, sometimes. And, just the highest strangeness we can find. Today will be no different. We are on video, so if you're listening, we're on video.
Check out the video.
Yeah,
we got pictures you're going to want to see.
Yeah, you can follow the socials through pumpkinhillradio.com. You can find all of our stuff there, and we post daily clips with us on video. You can see those. They're usually pretty goofy. You can send them to some friends, share them. I like when people share them and
comment
stuff.
on them. Make remix them, make memes out of them.
Make some sort of video collage.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
Stitch them together, make an episode out of it.
Yeah, make your own episode out of bits and pieces.
Create your own.
Yeah, you can do all that and more. Just go to pumpkinhillradio.com for all that. You are joining the cult by listening. I'll be honest. You are you're part of the cult of the Star Mother now.
If you're lost, you've been found.
And
you have a community now.
Yeah, and we're your dads.
Welcome.
Yeah,
we're your dads.
And you can join deeper layers. That kind of threw me off. And, I said. And you can join deeper layers of the cult by joining the Patreon, patreon.com/pumpkinhillradio. Small chance this is already just a Patreon exclusive episode. If so, what's up? And thank you so much to our Patreon members, especially the paying ones. What's up to all the members though? We have a ghost host this week. You want to know who it is?
Who is it?
Azrael Crow.
Yo, what up,
Azrael Crow.
It's a sweet name.
Yeah, sweet name.
I really like your name, Azrael. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah. And well, we're going to get right into it. We got it going for you. Now, this is probably our first time we're ever redoing an old topic,
a nice
basically.
revisit.
Not a redo, because I do like the first one we did.
It's good.
Shout out to Kanan Sharon.
Yeah.
Also, what up if you're listening, dude? Hope he said he was going to try to start a pod soon. So
I forgot that this was on his episode.
Yeah, dude.
That was so long ago.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So we did. Today we're going to be covering Ausso One.
It wasn't even a full episode then. We didn't even do a full.
No, it was like 10 minutes.
It was just the story.
So we did.
Yeah.
So we're going to be covering Ausso One, an extremely high strange alien encounter.
Yeah.
We did have
one of my favorites.
Yeah. So and we're just revisiting it because the first time we did it, we had our guest on. That was a lot of fun, but we just changed our format almost 100% since then, and we are going to give this story the full coverage it deserves.
We got video now. We can you can see the pictures instead of trying to just describe them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So we just wanted to give it another attempt and give you the best. Definitely still go listen to that original one. A lot of great content there regardless.
Yeah. Shouts out Kanan.
And
I still want to know what your grandpa.
Yeah, we got it. He's coming back. Kanan's coming back.
Yeah, I got questions for him.
He's got a space grandpa of some kind.
Grandpa with a theory on space that said was nuts.
Got a wiki page at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a little different horror this week. We just got a couple plugs.
Yeah.
First, I just want to talk about a little bit about the Red Temple Oracle. It's still in development. It'll be on Kickstarter soon enough, so keep your ears and eyes open. It is Dawson's holding a card up on video now.
I picked a card at random. I got the Silent Prophet.
This is a divination deck and magic system that I created. So it just works its own way. It's kind of like you could use it simply like you're drawing like a tarot, basically. But it's got its own, like an oracle deck, but it's got its own functions as well. A lot of actionable magic as it is. I have the box right here, and I'm just going to show it off right now a little bit. Because I am getting it, we are pretty far into development at this point.
Very cool. Travis made it all himself.
Then it's a 20 card deck there, It's some of them got cool pictures. They got a cool red or gold siding. I got that'll actually be different tiers in the pay. I don't know.
This one's got
the Kickstarter's gonna have all really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Dawson's holding a card from the all color version of the deck where every card is a different color for
very cool
added engagement, I guess. I just got like the This is like the booklet with all the upwards and upright and reverse meanings for everything that friend of the pod, Sam Page, helped me format. This is like a phase 1 of that. I still got to do a little more to it. But yeah, the pieces are coming together, and it's very exciting.
If you like Oracle decks, you got to get this one.
Yes, just I'm sure I've been shouting at it.
Do the magic with us.
Yeah,
do some readings before and after you listen.
When that releases, I'm sure I'll do a companion like episode basically, and I'll kind of walk you through some stuff on it. But
I would love to be involved with that.
It's also, you could just pick it up and simply draw a card, and there's enough in that card to be able to divine a meaning for yourself and
just go off vibes.
Yeah. So with that being said, that's just something that I'm continuing to work on, and I'm sure I will update it here every step of the way. So, next up, we have a gift. A gift was given to us by another friend. A lot of shout outs to people up top. I'm going to be honest. I mean,
without them, we are nothing.
Yeah, we are nothing. We are legion with them, though. The cold grows.
With them, we're everything.
This was, she said it was a trophy. Not a gift, but a trophy for us to open up. And I don't know if she wanted us to do it on pod, but we're going to. So thank you for Lola.
So
great little bag.
This is great.
Yeah, for the audio listeners, this is
beautiful.
Perfect.
So, look at that.
Come to the video for this.
It's a glass dolphin, blue dolphin. She gave us this after she watched the dolphin episode.
Oh God,
go back and listen to it if you haven't.
I haven't held it yet. I thought it was hollow. This thing's got weight to it.
It's solid. That's really nice.
We're gonna have to put up some kind of stand. Nice. This will be on the desk for all time now. Yeah, very topical because we just did our dolphin episode, and if you're listening to this, you probably have recently heard our mermaid episode as well.
Yeah,
Lola, this is so special. We're gonna keep this.
Thank you, Lola. Time. This bag's great. We'll get it back to you. This is a sweet bag too.
Yeah, look at that.
That's really
audio
nice.
Listeners. That's my wedding ring clinking on the glass. So
just think of like a really nice
something for the audio listeners.
Tropical blue glass dolphin.
Dude, it looks like the pictures I literally sent you like yesterday.
Yeah.
Remember I was sending you these like lo-fi like digital poly dolphins from like some like early 2000s ads.
Yeah.
That's so funny. It's these same things. Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, dude.
This is for nobody. This is just
the same vibe.
This isn't for video or audio.
No, this is just for me.
We're just
checking this out. Hell yeah!
I'm only on vibes.
That's nice.
These days,
this is gonna fit nice on like the rest of the desk.
We'll have to. Can we put this in there? Just keep it safe for right now, and we will.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Lola.
It's gonna say really nice gift. Next to like the Jason's
mask and the Mothman's
and the
Bionicle.
Hell yeah.
Oh, and Maya. Speaking of horror this week, this is our show, so we're do whatever we want up top, I guess. So we always give you about 10 minutes of banter or whatever.
Check it in, guys.
I got Maya this 32 pack of like of Sanrio Friends, which is like Hello Kitty and Friends cards. So like 32 packs of cards, like a ton of cards. She was opening a bunch of them, and she pulled this holographic pumpkin-clad My Melody, which is one of the Hello Kitty's friends. I don't know.
That's really nice.
You gotta be on video. You gotta come to watch a video for this app,
especially
with all the pictures later on.
It's in Japanese.
Yeah, it's fully Japanese
really
card.
Cool.
It's My Melody, the goth one, with a pumpkin hat on, like a little pumpkin cap,
basket,
and like kind of out for Halloween. So just perfect for Pumpkin Hill Radio.
Beautiful.
I came home from my very late shift last night. I got home at like 4 a.m, and she was like dead asleep, but next to her was this card sitting on my keyboard, so she had it. I got to see it.
Why did you see it? That's sweet.
So yeah, beautiful, cool stuff going on for the pod.
Great gifts
all around. Send more gifts, I guess. Email me and I'll give you the address, or we'll figure that out.
We always accept gifts.
We always accept gifts. Do we want to get? Do we want to get into the main?
Should we give them their gift?
Yeah,
the show,
the big show.
Yeah.
In fact,
Let's get open your present. Ausso One, dude.
Okay.
Start it. Give me the background. Give me the story. I want to hear it.
On October 25th, 1974, Carl Higdon, a 41-year-old Air Force veteran, oil rig foreman from Rawlins, Wyoming, set out on an afternoon of elk hunting in a remote wilderness of the Medicine Bow National Forest. Known locally as the Wyoming Coyote for his rugged grit and work ethic. Nice. Didn't get that.
That's a good name. Yeah.
Higdon was a seasoned outdoorsman with a strong familiarity with the region's rugged terrain and wildlife. His opportunity for the hunt came unexpectedly when a key crew member called in sick, leading to an unplanned day off. Seizing the chance, Carl took the company-issued truck and drove over 40 miles into the heart of the forest, eager to provide meat for his large family. This is a family man, a man of the wilds. He is not hunting for sport. He is hunting for meat.
Retired Air Force, so he's not like a silly guy.
No.
He's not like a goofball,
He's
knucklehead.
He's a woodsman. He
doing
knows his
psychedelics
surroundings.
and stuff.
Yes, yeah. He's not like
Straightforward, just a man of the land, a coyote.
At approximately 4 p.m., after trekking through the hills and dense forest, Carl crested a ridge and spotted a group of 5 elk grazing peacefully in a secluded glade. With a practiced hand, he raised his newly purchased 7mm Magnum bolt-action rifle, took aim at the largest bull, and squeezed the trigger. This is where it starts to get weird.
Yeah,
right, this isn't just about a guy hunting. Instead of the expected thunderous crack and sharp recoil from the rifle, there was an eerie void. No sound, no kick, no impact. Carl stood in disbelief as the bullet appeared to drift from the barrel in slow motion, floating through the air before dropping harmlessly to the ground about 50 feet ahead. The forest around him had fallen deadly silent. The usual hum of insects, rustling leaves, and bird calls had vanished.
Okay.
Curious and confused, Carl moved forward to retrieve the bullet. Strangely, he would later find it not on the ground, but inside his water canteen.
Oh, weird.
We're already getting into the weird parts. Okay.
What?
When examined, the bullet was found to be intact, but dramatically deformed, twisted and turned completely inside out, as though it had been subjected to an unnatural force from within. There's literally no way for a bullet casing to naturally do this, basically.
Yeah.
Just turn itself 100% inside out, especially like after not firing correctly or whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, like if it was like something that naturally happened, it would like be like split
Mm-hmm.
and inside out. Like it wouldn't just be like inside out.
Yeah. Insane.
What? Still, like what the heck?
Before he could make sense of the anomaly, Carl began to feel a strange pressure in the air, similar to the sensation of one experiences before a thunderstorm. Static seemed to cling to his skin. It was at that moment that a figure emerged silently from the surrounding trees.
So that sounds familiar. The feeling before a thunderstorm, that's that like frequency.
Yeah, it is. You're like
that's static, like
infrasound, baby.
Infrasound, that's what it is.
That's the term.
That's what it is, dude. He's had infrasound. Yeah, yeah.
That sound so deep that you like, or I guess maybe high pitched, but it's so deep that you're like you can't like.
It's
hear
outside
it in
your
that same
spectrum.
way.
Yeah.
So you just feel it.
Yeah.
And that's like why. Yeah, that's why
animals get weird.
Yeah. That's why, that's why before a storm, it's, they get out of there. But that's like that same feeling comes from like a lot of paranormal things too, right?
Like
so,
the electricity. But yeah, it's like that sound and like that vibe feeling is like, it was like the missing 411. They would always like have that, or like the weather would drastically change.
Yeah.
Which is same kind
thing.
of thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing basically.
Interesting.
Yeah. What the hell? What approached Carl was unlike any human Carl had ever seen. The figure stood at least 6 feet tall and had a humanoid shape. Let's get some pictures.
Yeah. Nice.
One behind each of us.
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
What approached him was unlike any human Carl had ever seen. The figure stood at least 6 feet tall and had a humanoid shape, but its features were distinctly alien. Its skin was a dull golden yellow, its face smooth and chinless, with no visible ears. Its eyes were small, deep-set, and unblinking. 2 short antennae protruded from its forehead, and atop its head sat a crown of coarse, straw-like hair that stood upright.
So,
see the pics. The being wore a black, tight-fitting bodysuit that resembled rubber or scuba gear, and it was crisscrossed with 2 thick blue harnesses, like bandoliers, across its chest. Around its waist was a wide belt featuring a prominent 6-pointed star, below which sat a pouch-like device. In the entity's right hand, he didn't have a right hand. Instead, it was a drill-like appendage, or at least some type of conical shape, I will say.
Yeah.
The left arm appeared to, it was the left, so the right hand is a drill like, and then the left hand there's just nothing below the wrist, as if like unfinished, as if like it's not phasing into reality correctly, basically. Despite the shocking appearance, the being addressed Carl in perfect colloquial English, asking calmly, "How are you doing?"
How you do? Hey, what's up?
How are you doing? I imagine it sounded like that.
Yeah.
Startled, but trying to remain composed, Carl replied, "You want to read that?"
Pretty good.
The entity then informed him in the same emotionless tone, "You're hungry. Take one of these pills. It'll last 4 days."
That's crazy.
Okay, I like these voices, though.
I need to get some pills like that. That'd be
Yeah.
rad.
First off, weird first thing for an alien to say. How are you
Yeah.
doing?
How you doing?
And then
Pretty good.
You're hungry.
You're hungry.
Take one of these pills. It'll last 4 days.
So it's like reading him. He's like getting like some sort of readings on him. Of like, oh, this guy should probably eat here.
Yeah.
This guy's gonna want to eat.
To Carl's astonishment, a clear plastic packet container containing 4 pills floated through the air toward him.
Yeah, I mean, because he doesn't have a hand to hand it to him.
Yeah. It's just like all psychic or like only like, I don't know, some kind of, we'll get into possibilities of what the hell this is at some point. But though normally hesitant to even take a painkillers, Carl reached out, took one, and swallowed it without hesitation. He couldn't explain why. It was as though his actions were being guided by an unseen force.
Yeah.
Most likely this dude.
So again, this guy doesn't even like pain killers. Like this guy's a guy that's gonna be like, nah, I don't need any like
This
ibuprofen.
whole situation is.
But this thing is like
that
here.
it's this guy.
Yeah.
That it's like this guy experiencing it. This veteran.
No nonsense,
this,
kind of just like straightforward.
Oil drill worker. Like
Yeah.
he's hunting for food right now. Like it's not.
Yeah.
I don't
He's
think
just an
he's
outdoorsman. Like
I don't think he's reading a lot of sci-fi.
he's not overly like super like weird like spiritual or anything.
Also,
He's probably like goes to church, but like that's maybe it.
And like it was 1974, so I think like what was coming out then? Like there was like a few sci-fi things, but it's like you're not gonna. He's not like seeing trailers for this. Like I think he has like a TV in his house. Very doubtful.
Maybe has a radio.
Yeah, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
So the fact that any of this is
and that's like not what he's probably not gonna be into like going and seeing like aliens.
No, he definitely isn't. The being introduced itself as Ausso One, a name that would later be variously spelled as Ausso One or Ausso One in different accounts. Then gesturing toward a strange object hovering behind him. So Ausso One's like gesturing over here, probably with his no hand left arm or whatever. He gestures toward a strange object hovering behind him, and also asks, "Do you want to come along?" The object was a large, transparent cube about 7 feet tall and 5 feet wide, suspended several feet above the ground and shimmering with what Carl would later compare to be a cloaking device like that used by the Predator in film. All right, so we've seen Predator.
Yeah.
Though unsure, Carl responds with a resigned shrug. Right there, Doss, that's you.
Might as well. What?
That was very shrug-like.
Might as well.
In that instant, he was inside it. There was no walking to this cube.
Yeah.
Carl was suddenly, he said, "I might as well."
And
then
he's just in
he's in it. Also to go, just to like point out like his like point of reference for things and like how he goes about describing things and like what's going on in his head. Not to like say he's like dull or anything, but he described the square shape, how he described it was like a giant like Christmas box, like present.
Yeah.
And like some of the like later reports, he was like, that's like how he like
It's
just
like a
like
Christmas
it's like a square, like it's like a cube, like that. I don't know, like
Cube.
it just like
Yeah.
he's not like coming up even when it's like this floating off the ground and like transparent. It's like he doesn't have any other like example of that really. He says the transparency he's like nah. It's like in the Predator movie where it's like invisible. It's so visible. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
The interior of the cube was equally disorienting. Carl found himself strapped into a metallic seat with wrist and ankle restraints and a strange helmet with wires that was placed on his head. Also, one was there, along with 2 other beings who resembled him closely. In another compartment of the ship, Carl could see the same 5 elk he had spotted earlier, now immobilized and seemingly unconscious, confined by a glowing force field. Again, it's like inside this thing, it's bigger. One of those things.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like now there's like room for 3 different Ausso One dudes, him and these elk. That's like the very striking thing about this whole report too, is like the elk of it all. How like these things that were like in the vicinity like just got
elk. He was like
too.
about to shoot. He was like trying to shoot the elk.
I'm gonna get some new pictures up.
Yeah. Nice. You get the pictures up. I'll get this cat in there.
All right, get that cat in
We have
here.
a visitor.
Yeah, we got him.
Yeah.
Got the cat. We got the Ausso cat.
We got 2 cats.
Yeah, these elk are like
I like this
immobilized.
I like that one.
Yeah, this guy seemingly unconscious and like floating in some like glowing force field, or like confined in one at least.
Yeah,
Maybe they're
yeah.
like standing on whatever like transparent surface it is. Carl's pickup truck, which he could see through the transparent wall of the cube, shimmered and disappeared as Ausso gestured with his drill-like appendage. What followed was a sensation of rapid acceleration, and Carl saw what he described as a brilliant blue marble in the distance. Earth, fading away. Then everything went black. All right, let's sit here for a second and talk about like this situation. It's like, so he sees his car disappear too, and that'll actually come up later. But
Yeah.
like that's like a very interesting like wrinkle.
Like everything in this whole like vicinity is just like touched weird.
Mm-hmm. And it's
And we mentioned like the hunters that like told him about the spot too.
so
There's like a few hunters like, yeah,
yeah,
over
I
that
don't know
ridge
if
is
I
good.
came up in this version of it, but it's or maybe I did.
I always feel like that's like a strange part of it
Yes,
too.
that
like,
is okay. So
he was
and-
like told to go there by like other dudes.
because they're in the beginning of this story, right? Yes, he got called off of work that day because somebody else was like sick or something, and they just couldn't operate the rig with just one dude, basically.
Yeah.
Or like whatever, like a down crew. And so he has this random day off, kind of like serendipitous, like of that, just like something's off there. And then as he's driving to his usual space to hunt, there are 2 dudes off the side of the road that have like a broken down car
Yeah.
or something, and he like pulls over.
Or they're
to,
like parked or something.
Yeah, he like pulls over and asks like if y'all are doing okay or whatever, and they just tell him about this other spot.
Like, oh yeah, it's a really good spot.
Yeah.
Right over there by that ridge.
Just that is like a bizarre little wrinkle, right? It's like what is this?
Everything just is so like weirdly off.
It's like he was made to like somehow end up in this spot. that he
Yeah,
would
it was
never
like
normally
guided. Like
be.
these things like
And those people, I don't think they looked anything suspicious, but I know in their accounts he says he just can't really remember anything about them, like no defining details kind of thing.
yeah.
So probably just like
Like they might have just been like, cloaked
yeah,
messengers
kinda
or
what it
something, you know what I
seems-
mean? Like
seems like.
or just like hologram. I don't know, man.
And now, yeah. Oh, we'll get into
We can
some-
get wild
yeah.
about the
but
theories, but
And then like you're in this thing, and all of a sudden you're way off. You're way off, and you're seeing Earth like in the distance. Like that's like
yeah.
the speed at which you're traveling. Then I guess like it goes black, which means either like instantaneous travel or you just blacked out from like just like maybe even just like the G force of it all. I'm sure
Yeah,
there was some
just-
kind of protection in there, but okay. When Carl awoke, he found himself standing before a vast tower, a monolithic structure resembling the Seattle Space Needle, illuminated by intense lights that seemed to pierce his eyes. Shielding his face, Carl shouted.
Shut them off. They're burning me.
Ausso One replied, "Your sun burns us too." He explained that his people came from a world with a different sun, and Earth's solar radiation was harmful to them. This, he said, was the reason for the black suits and the reason they traveled only on overcast days. Nice. That's like a nice... that they just
Interesting.
travel in that weather too. Carl also learned that the being's home planet was located 163,000 light miles away,
Yeah. Not
is-
light years.
which is not a measurement that exists, but maybe it's just like their way of describing something, or like maybe they meant light years, or who the
Yeah,
hell
that might be
knows.
like their translation of light years.
Mm.
It
And,
might just be a totally different thing.
yeah. I'm thinking maybe it just means almost nothing, and it's just a way to say that he went like they're in a very
Way the
they're
fuck
just
out
so
of here.
far off. Yeah. Also, one continued
like-
to say,
Traveling like through light.
mm,
You know what I mean? Like
Possibly.
miles through just light itself.
through that many
Through, like, the
levels of-
spectrum.
yeah, maybe, dude. I mean, that's the most nuts, but I like it.
Yeah. I mean, that's where my mind goes to.
Because that's like what that's
makes more sense to
what
me.
the hell they're doing here.
I don't know.
So, one also says that their oceans had died, leaving them unable to support fish. Their civilization was dependent on harvesting terrestrial animals to create nutrient-rich pills. Excuse me. So that's what the pills are for. According to Ausso, one pill could sustain a being for 3 to 4 days. They also believe that Earth's 9 planets provided a gravitational force essential to powering their system. Earth's 9 planets. I don't know. Maybe. the solar system's 9 planets, provided a gravitational force essential to powering their systems.
And maybe Earth is a solar system.
Or it's that, or this isn't, because this isn't the mistranslation. This is just like what I found in there. Maybe they meant when Ausso One said Earth's 9 planets, I immediately think of like the 9 realms of like Asgard and all that shit. Like maybe it's like you know, I mean, I'm thinking of like World Tree type stuff. If we're just throwing weird shit out there in this middle of this fucking,
I mean, it's bizarre enough, and there's not enough like other like finer details that it's like, man, any theory is as valid as the next, man. Like
inside this tower, Carl witnessed a strange sight: a group of humans, including a young girl, 3 teenage girls, and a middle-aged man, all conversing casually and wearing regular Earth clothes. Before Carl could interact with them, he was taken into a chamber and floated onto a scanning platform. A transparent panel emerged from the wall and passed over his body for several minutes before retreating. Scanning. Like
so you're kind of like some sort of like, I imagine some sort of like MRI CAT scan kind of thing.
Several
like
minutes.
Way more like high tech.
It's like floating there. Because like, I don't know, after like a minute and a half, you're like, oh man, is this going to get like done soon?
How much longer?
What is this? At this point, Ausso says, "You're not what we're looking for." Carl later theorized that the reject was due to his vasectomy, a procedure he had undergone 9 years earlier. He speculated that the beings were conducting a breeding program and had found him unsuitable for their purposes. Before departing, Ausso expressed a peculiar sentiment. "We'll be seeing you." Then Carl was escorted back into the cube.
So yeah, we'll be seeing you. Not like, see you later. Like, we're going to be watching. We'll see you.
Yeah, we'll be seeing you. And everything Ausso says is weird, but it's all like...
Yeah, because it's like, it's not going to have like the same like, there's like nuances to English where there's like sarcasm and like you turn a phrase and stuff like that. And like metaphors.
Yeah, you think he's
know?
doing a metaphor? Well, yeah.
I don't think so. I think he's being much more literal when he says things.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. What do you think about, like, the older dude and, like, the younger girls? Like, are those, like, his kids or something? Or it's, like... Right. Or, like, I don't know.
Or were they, like, going to be part of, like, this program thing? Or, like... I don't know.
It is weird to see, like, humans talking casually on some place that's... like 200 light miles from Earth, whatever.
200,000 light miles.
Yeah. Carl then is escorted back to the cube at this point. Yeah. All this like being levitated and shit is also super sick. Like,
dude,
that must feel crazy.
Ausso One, if you're listening, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go fishing later today, so like, maybe.
If you see 2 guys on the side of the road, you're like,
hey, go fish over there. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, thanks, guys.
Are you going fishing later?
I think I might.
That sounds.
I'm gonna try.
Dude. Oh, perfect.
It's supposed to like blizzard this weekend, and
try to hit it beforehand.
Yeah, I've been itching all week. It's been so nice, but I've been working every day. I'm like, I gotta at least try.
Yeah. All right. So the thing Carl remembered was falling through the air and landing painfully against a hillside. So he's returned to the cube, and then it's like a blackout again, and then he basically appears in the like. Maybe 10 feet in the air, 7 feet up in the air, and falls and like hurts his legs.
Yeah.
Like as if like he got like dropped back in wrong, or like they didn't account for like the rotation of the fucking Earth or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he's first thing he just gets zapped back into like our Earth or our reality, and then like falls a little bit. Bruised and disoriented, he wanders aimlessly until he stumbles upon a familiar shape, his truck. He climbed inside it without even initially recognizing it as his own truck. He was literally just like a fucking baby like creature, just like needs shelter. You know what I mean? He's just like, so like
just
so
gone.
Just battered
just
and
like
gone.
all he knows is like I need to figure out.
He knows he's outside
shelter.
in this like overcast day, whatever, and he's like, I just need to get in anywhere. So he ends up crawling into his truck.
It's like, where's my truck? I just gotta get it. I just gotta go lay down.
After like,
just gotta go lay down real quick.
I don't know. I imagine him just like,
like, you just like you're disoriented. You're
for the
like
listeners,
falling.
we're doing great body work here.
Wake up, like, I gotta get my.
But
truck.
so after he After that, he uses the CB radio on board to call for help, muttering repeatedly, "Where's my elk?" Oh, you want to read that? It's him.
Where's my elk? I'm so cold. I don't know. I don't know.
I want to say it again to repeat it.
Where's my elk? I'm so cold. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Where's my elk? Where's my elk? So cold.
So he's just doing that into like a CB. That's like a creepy thing to like hear over the fucking on the comms.
Where's my elk?
At this point, also, the truck isn't where he had left it. It's in the middle of this like swampy area with like trees and brush on all sides. The truck is actually somehow like barricaded in on all sides with like trees. Like not like there's no
like
marks.
There's no driving tracks. Like he didn't drive out there.
He
didn't like crash his car through it or anything.
It's like all muddy and shit. Like you would see like the tire tracks through it. So it's like just like he got ported in kind of
because like he saw his truck like disappear too.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of get like dropped in.
But he didn't see the truck on the alien planet. So I'm wondering if either the truck got dropped here immediately afterward and it got like just ported there immediately.
Yeah.
Like everything on board was gonna go up, and then so everything in the vicinity had to get like pushed back a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Or was the truck like put into some kind of like holding like pocket dimension on board?
Yeah.
And just like disappeared for everybody, and then when they got back, it just popped and it disappeared there.
Kind of like kept it with him
in the wrong spot. Like no way for him to drive into this.
Yeah.
Not
where he parked it.
His wife, Marjorie Higdon, having grown concerned by his absence, he's like out late enough. He's like, well, this is a long enough thing for him. He's like out in the at night now. He's like shivering. At night. Concerned by his absence, contacted the authorities and initiated a search. With help from Carl's boss and a local game warden, searchers, not researchers, were the researchers.
Yeah.
Searchers eventually pinpointed his location around midnight. They found Carl inside his truck, but the vehicle was inexplicably parked in a deep sinkhole with no tire tracks leading in or out. Again,
just popped.
The terrain was treacherous, and the truck was unscathed and had to be manually hauled out. There was no way to just drive it out or like. One of the
it didn't to get it in there. It would have like gotten scratched the fuck up.
Yeah, it would have beaten the fuck up.
You would have been like muddy.
You'd see like a line of trees.
It would have been scathed. It would have been very scathed.
Scathed as hell.
Yeah.
Marjorie and others in the search party reported seeing a strange green and orange light in the sky.
Yeah.
Red, orange.
So other people see like something weird.
Yeah. And again, right? Okay, with that, it's like okay, you say red and green. That's like what planes use for like left and right kind of stuff. You can like. Okay, if you're an intelligent species coming to Earth and you're cloaking disguise yourself. Yeah, that's the same. That's what bugs me when like some of these reports and it's like, maybe it was a plane and it's like maybe, but it's like if something was trying to.
If there's something weird about it.
Yeah. If something was trying to.
They said strange red green lights.
Yeah, it also wasn't like any kind of like.
They weren't like it was
just
like a plane.
Basically like lights, right? But it's like. It's something with like cloaking. Yeah, it's shifted into this. Like it's literally
camouflage.
Camouflaged into this form, right? Just like they like even from space, they're like wherever they're like out there a little bit. They can still see like these things flying around our atmosphere with these like blinking lights and like landing, and everybody's fine with them. So they're like, if we just have these lights on, maybe it's fine, right?
Yeah.
So they saw these lights in the sky. Carl himself was exposed to the headlights of the rescue team, and when he was exposed to the headlights of the rescue team, began to panic. He said,
"Put those lights out! Help me, God, help me!"
Yeah, just weird. Yeah,
Carl
freaking
out.
It's freaking out.
Freaking the F out.
Carl was rushed to Carbon County Memorial Hospital, where he was treated for light sensitivity, bloodshot eyes, and severe disorientation. Nurse Ella Peterson noted his irrational behavior and his inability to recognize his wife at first. Literally, they like just zapped his memory or like something about that. Like
he just had amnesia.
Yeah. Or it was like a concussion from falling or something, right?
He
repeatedly asked the staff for
4-day pills. I want the 4-day pills.
I want the 4-day pills, which he believed were still in his pocket. I want the 4-day pills.
Damn. Me too, man.
I also want the 4-day pills.
Just to try it.
under the guidance of psychologist and UFO researcher Dr. R. Leo Sprinkle of the University of Wyoming. We had a couple other stories with him at some point. I know he's a good. I mean, he's a good dude, but Leo Sprinkle is a great name for a UFO researcher.
Yeah. Really
Dr.
fun.
R. Leo Sprinkle.
Yeah.
Of the University of Wyoming. What's his first name?
Robert.
Yeah, that's Robert.
I don't know.
Carl underwent under this dude. Carl underwent multiple hypnosis sessions to retrieve suppressed memories of the event. Dr. Sprinkle, a respected figure in ufology, had previously investigated similar cases in the area, including the story of Pat McGeer, a rancher who had claimed contact with similar beings.
Ooh,
and we'll have to
that'd be a good story.
Yeah, we'll have to cover that one at some point. See what else Sprinkle uncovered. You know,
what's going on with Sprinkle? Where's he sprinkling around?
Let's see, sprinkling around. Leo. Nope. Following the account. You guys getting into my head.
Leo.
Every word just became Leo in front of me.
Jeez.
Oh man. Following the encounter, Carl displayed unusual psychological changes. Old scarring on his lungs, a result of childhood tuberculosis, was found to have vanished. Scarring from childhood tuberculosis vanished. His kidney stones, which had previously caused issues, had disappeared without explanation.
So he got healed, pretty much.
He got healed.
That's a thing that happens a lot with like these UFO cases.
You think the scanning was doing that?
I think so.
The scanning was like purifying it.
I think just like healing him.
Yeah.
Because I know there's one case, this guy that was like getting like constant like visitations and stuff, and he like tore his MCL, and he was like about to go in for surgery, and he's like, I think it doesn't really hurt or anything, and they're like, yeah, it's like fixed.
Yeah. That's
like your ligament just got fixed. What?
So
like no.
So he did get healed.
That doesn't make sense.
I will say, because he was dropped from such a high place, he had like visible bruising that can only be like from that sort of a fall. Like it's not like he couldn't have like really even given it to, there like wasn't, there was like a hill. I don't think there was like cliffs for him to jump off of to get these bruisings. You know, I think like, but there's not even really a way for him to like sustain this shit without
like he was like dropped.
Yeah, he was dropped.
Dropped from like 10 feet or something.
Yeah.
Like, bam, ow. Which I could explain a little bit of like the weird amnesia. Like he could have just been concussed.
Or it's like you do hear most alien stuff. They do try to wipe your fucking memory too. So.
Yeah, it's foggy. It's weird.
Trying
to remember a dream almost.
Yeah. Yeah. His old scarring was gone. Kidney stone's gone. Carl described the overall sensation
like I'd been pulled apart and put back together again.
Thank you, Carl.
Oh, weird.
The deformed bullet discovered in his canteen. Again, what the hell?
Yeah.
Was examined by ballistics expert Dr. Walter Walker and the Carbon County Sheriff's Department. The results, it was confirmed to have been fired from Carl's rifle. Right. Confirmed to have been fired.
Yeah.
The bullet's copper casing had been twisted and hollowed in a way that no human tool or force could account for.
Yeah. Bizarre.
No human tool.
Yeah.
It appeared to have been warped by intense, localized pressure, possibly from contact with the alien craft or from some unknown force. Photographs were taken of the bullet, but the studio that developed them later burned down. Fuck me. The bullet itself, which had been sent to the University of Wyoming for further study, also disappeared.
Yeah. Wow. Many such cases.
What the hell? I'm just trying to develop a picture here. They're like, I'm so barely involved in this. Like, this guy might have copies. I might have seen it.
Nothing that even touched it.
Because we didn't. I don't know how much we really described like the bullet, but it's like at the top, like it's like Carl shoots it and then he sees it moving through the air slow enough to see, like it's like already hitting with some like force, and then about 50 feet out, it like hits like basically an invisible thing. Like maybe it was just the cube that he gets into later that like was fully invisible at the time, right?
Yeah.
So bizarre though. The bullet casing picture, the place burned down afterward. And then obviously you send anything to a university that's destined to get fucking.
It's the thing where like whenever people are like, oh, there's no like hard evidence of anything that happened. It's like, well,
it's like it got burned.
You gotta look into like what happened to it. Yeah. it disappears.
There's evidence of the evidence, right? Like the
Yeah.
sheriff's county did.
So it's all
like,
like from word of
analyze
mouth, and
this.
it's like, yeah,
There's like real like reports from this analysis. They just don't
It was-
have the picture. Or
it was
the thing
going
anymore.
places.
Yeah.
It just got destroyed.
Also, how did it get in that canteen? Was that just part of
Yeah.
the
Just the rearrangement.
just the
almost.
rearrangement?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the, like,
I guess how everything
teleport
got moved
things
around.
just get moved around weird.
So bizarre. Yeah, I guess
I-
like if it did, I don't know. I guess if it hit the machine, turned it inside out, maybe like stayed in that pocket space with the truck till it got back, and then it just like fell into the canteen as he was getting zapped into our reality.
Right.
I don't know.
I couldn't tell you.
Carl took and passed multiple polygraph tests in 1978. One of the examiners concluded that something utterly fascinating happened to this man. The test proves it
Yeah.
beyond a doubt. Dr. Sprinkle said, Leo, she said, there is no evidence of a hoax or psychosis. These experiences may be happening exactly as described.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you,
I'd be
Leo.
willing to bet.
Carl Higdon never sought fame or fortune from this experience. That's something that's what you have to look for in a lot of these cases. It's like, did they?
He didn't try to like get like a travel show or
Mhm.
like, you know.
Put these pictures down. He didn't write like a ton of books about this stuff.
He just told the story. And it's up to us to tell it.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
it's bizarre.
Yeah, but yeah, it's not like he was probably
It's
the kind
not
of
like
guy
one of
that-
those famous like, you know, Travis Walton stories either, you know what I mean?
Mm,
It's just like or like the Benny and Barney Hill. But it's like so much weirder.
Yeah, well,
It's like because it's not like
full of-
scary.
it's a classic high strangeness case. Which
Yeah,
is
it's
what we
just like
fucking love here.
bizarre and not like freaky scary. It's like just what the
It's just
hell?
absurdist, basically.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Which
It's
is why it's harder to
sacred
even
clown.
like tell. Yes, yeah. Which is why it's harder to tell, right? I mean, yeah. Dawson said the word sacred clown right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get through this last little bit, then I want to talk about some sacred clown stuff and some
Mhm.
related cases, basically. Yeah, Carl never sought that fame or fortune. That even if you have a true experience, you usually will try to at least write a book about it. Not really trying to get famous, but it's like you do want to tell the story. So,
Yeah.
right. He quietly returned to work on the oil fields, avoiding media attention and choosing not to capitalize on his story. It was only many years later, in 2017, that his wife, Marjorie, self-published a book detailing the encounter titled Alien Abduction of the Wyoming Hunter. Carl passed away in 2022 in Temple, Texas, from complications related to COVID-19. Don't even right now. He remained consistent and resolute about his experience until the end. His final public reflection on the event was simple and unwavering.
Don't make a hill of beans to wait, what? Don't make a hill of beans to me what anybody believes or not. I know what happened to me.
Kind of guy that says don't make a
hill of beans.
Like that same guy is not making this kind of a story.
He's
up.
not
I just
gonna-
don't think his brain would be able to. And that's not to say he's stupid. Like
No.
he's obviously very intelligent. in a
That's
bunch
just
of
not
ways.
his vibe.
Yeah.
That's out of his that's not his like lane, you know?
Yeah.
It's a way as you know. Yeah. This is like reminds me of like my grandpa. He's like, that's hocus pocus.
Yeah. Carl had nothing to gain here. He had no book deals, no speaking tours, no thirst for attention. Yeah. But this, I mean, he's got aspects of missing time in here, telepathic
Yeah.
communication, physical transformation,
Like teleportation.
levitation, like cleansing of a body.
Yeah.
Mysterious
that healing.
technologies and these lasting psychological effects. Like I said, they were willing. They there was effects physically on him from this,
Yeah.
right? Insane stuff. And he basically lived and died quietly with convinced
Yeah.
that he saw this. And really, I think in the end, he was mad they took his elk. I think he would have rather just had that.
Where's
clean
my
shot.
elk?
Yeah.
That was a
Where's my elk? He's still asking and even now, where are the elk? It's Ausso One did say that their planet was like, I don't know, barren, but the oceans were
yeah.
dried up basically.
They couldn't grow food.
So I think having the elk there, it's like, yeah, they said they're harvesting terrestrial creatures to make these pills, these power pills, right?
For 4 days.
Yeah, Yeah. Also, like, what happened to those pills? Carl Heath swear he thought he came back with those pills, but remember he was given the packet,
Yeah.
but they just never like something took them, or like some agency took them, or like somewhere along the lines, like it just
Like
they
when
just
they like
disappeared.
showed up, they're
Like when he's still basically unconscious in the hospital,
yeah.
because he's like waking up, he's like, give me the 4-day pills. It's like some black book agency just like totally walked into their thing, took him, like fucking wiped him from whatever,
Yeah.
and have that.
Or like, when he's like kind of like delirious in this truck and stuff, like, some sort of black helicopter comes by.
Yeah.
Scoops up
Yeah.
some evidence, anything that's weird.
Yeah, I was just
and that's like why they didn't get the bullet, because it was in his canteen. It's like there's no casings. They're like, all right.
Yeah, maybe there probably was like a team of agents that just came and like cleansed the area, whatever, you know what I mean? Just like
some
all
cleaners,
sectioned it off by nightfall. It was all done again,
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I imagine that usually there's enough reports of that stuff happening that's like, yeah.
Doss, you mentioned Sacred Clown. So
yeah.
Sacred Clown we talk about it quite often, but it's that concept of like divine madness that like
It's just completely absurd.
It's
divinity.
from some Native American like translations of words, and like how they like, there's the Ojibwe have the Sacred Clown, which is a thunder touched individual, so someone that came in contact with the thunder bird, or you take that in some ways, it's like extraterrestrial or some type of entity, right? Maybe an Ausso One type, it's like, so I don't know exactly where it all falls into this. It comes into play when we talk about the related cases, I think.
Yeah.
Like this like dispersing of information, and
just like the description of it is like, there's something about it that is like kind of like clownish almost.
It is. It's all off. I mean, he's got like straight up like golden hair.
Yeah.
He's got like
the weird like face.
No like ears. He's got like a pale face. Yeah, like pale skin. Like, that big like no chin. Yeah, he's got that. And then so this is like the cases that I think me and Dawson have put together, and I haven't really seen it anywhere else written out, but it's the three other cases that kind of come to mind that wrap up into this would be, first, the Sandown Clown, which we can talk about a little bit here, but I think we're going to give it its own episode at some point.
Yeah.
As well as the Loveland Frog Men, which is not the Frogman story, but it was that group of 3 individuals that had something in. All of these have like weird glowing things in their hand.
Yeah,
weird,
sort of like kind of pointed like
yes.
wand, but not quite.
Yeah.
Or like one's like a microphone,
mm-hmm.
one's like a wand, one's like a drill hand.
One's like a drill hand. I also look at stories of the Alp, one of the classic sleep paralysis demons. That's ALP, which wears something called the Cap of Concealment, which is like this conical shaped cap, like a very like gnome like hat, right? And it's like when you wear that, you can turn into like other shapes or something. So it's like, it's the idea of, I always liked the thought of like, is Ausso One just like holding that cap, and that's what that drill shape is. It's just like like holding the cap, maybe, and it's just like he's just not registering it because there's so much going on, so much to take in. Also, it's like if they're peeking through from just a different dimension, it's like Ausso One is depicted basically without feet either. He's got only like one of his hands isn't there. It's like if you were loading something in, and it's like all that stuff is kind of on the peripheral when you're looking head on, so you're mostly just seeing the face and the torso. Like you wouldn't even see that other stuff necessarily. Like it wouldn't even think it was necessarily like loaded in, right?
Or even like if it's like hand is like on some sort of like controller or something, and that's like part of like the cloaked thing. Like his hands is also cloaked because it's like holding onto this like, I don't even know. I don't know what.
I'm going to. That's the Ausso One story. And it's pretty much its entirety. I think that was a much better version than that's just a more complete version. Definitely go back and listen to the old Ausso One episode with Kanan. Yeah, we go over a lot of other cool stuff in that episode too. But this specifically was just the Ausso case. Again, that was in '73 in Wyoming. Now, just really quick to tie it to Sandown Clown, and we will give it its own episode. But in May of 1973, in the United Kingdom, before you're going to be able to transmit this stuff across, we have 2 young children stumbling upon what they go on to call the Sandown Clown. Sam the Sandown Clown and what's known
Yeah.
as the Sandown Clown Incident.
And they refer to it as a clown.
And they refer to it as a clown.
But it's very resemblant to Ausso One.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is interesting.
I
Which is why, like I say, the sacred clown, because it's like they have like this healing thing. They have this like, I don't know. They have like these like weird properties and like things that they do that is like just magic.
I'm putting the picture of the Sandown Clown on the screen, and I'm going to put a picture of Ausso One right next to it, just for people to see what Jesus. Scary.
They have these antennas. They have like this weird hair, weird face.
Oh, they got such a bad case of weird face.
And just like, they're like hands. Like one's holding a mic. He's got like the drill. I don't know.
They have like weird shapes on their torso. So come
it's
check
like
out this
their
picture.
Feet
of
are
Sam.
like, they just like kind of fill in the blanks with the feet. Like the feet don't really match anything else.
The
like,
Sandown Clown, its appearance, just for the audio listeners, it was by these children was said to be over 7 feet tall and described as clown-like, also kind of robotic and alien. Its face was pale white with a triangular protruding nose, square blue eyes, and motionless yellow lips. The being had a pointed hat, similar to a jester's cap, with red markings on what looked like a wooden slats extending from each side of the head. So just like antennae, basically, coming up. These are kids in the 70s, so they're like, I guess that's what we're describing here. It refers to it. It's what it tells the children. Says, "Hello, I am all colors Sam."
Huh.
Okay, I think we're going to use this as like a teaser for another episode,
yeah.
right? Because this is all too much to dig into. But just like the striking similarity in these cases that we will find as we move forward, and in some other cases with the frogmen we said, where there's actually 3 of them, again, creatures on the side of the road. Remember, kind of, and like the dad of this driving his wife and kid, this dad pulls over to the side of the road, looks out the driver's side window, and is like gonna ask them for like if they need any assistance or anything. And it's these 3 shorter beings holding like, it was once described as a chain, but also maybe like a wand. And they have these hats, these pointed hats on, and they like run in front of the car quick and just sort of disappear. And it's like this very strange,
just
weird event. Again, though, they're like holding this like weird. Same with Sam.
They're holding
like,
weird stuff.
A lot of the times,
like it's all slightly different, but just the fact that they're all like holding some like weird shit. That doesn't make sense.
In this story of the Ausso One, I don't think I mentioned it, but they're all the items from all 3 of these characters. They're all like glowing bluish. Which we've talked about in the past as like some sort of magical weapon. It's almost like a freaking wand or something.
Yeah,
but it's like we
just
talked
glowing
about,
in like mana,
like Kugelblitz black holes. These like basically wormholes things.
The thunder touched,
and when. Right, well, like, we're talking about that color, that like that thunder touch, like that like electric
like lightning,
touch, that lightning touch. In a lot of abduction stories, you'll see this like flash of blue.
Yeah,
I'm kind of just like
blue
throwing
light.
a bunch of different strings in the air right now.
The Shaws too. It was like blue light glowing in their room and stuff.
When we talked to the Shaws on our show about their abduction stories a little earlier on in the episodes, but. Yeah, it's this glowing blue light that seems to also be part of so many things. Just this weird stuff, though. These weird dudes.
Bizarre.
Look at these weird guys behind us. Also,
they're just coming in being all weird and magic and stuff.
Mm-hmm. They are. They seem like they're like
from other worlds. All colors Sam.
They seem like they're like coming
Ausso One.
From other.
I don't know.
From other dimensions, from other planes. It's really hard to say exactly. I
light
think
miles.
As we find, from light miles.
Traveling miles through light.
Which I like what you said there.
That's like how I'm going to interpret it. Whatever, it doesn't even make sense. I don't know how to even describe it, but like.
But when I throw in the 9 realms, the different planes of existence,
that's
for the different
that's like part of it,
like the dwarves and the giants and everything. And I could almost see that like being a different part of it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like that's. Yeah, you go through like the lights.
Yeah.
Just light itself. The fucking dimensional lights. Get to these different realms, these different worlds.
So what do we got? What are some final thoughts on Ausso One? I mean, Definitely one of the weirdest cases
Just
that you
so
can like
weird.
find, and just for like how thorough it is as well.
Yeah, like how like he just accounts it, how it's like everything about this guy, and how they're like the weirdness of like how they're like you're not what we're looking for.
Mhm.
He gets like rejected.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
weird, but they like also asked him like permission, like you want to come with.
Yeah.
But
How
they're like,
are you
"Ah,
doing?
sorry, man."
You are hungry. I'm wondering if he
Yeah.
was fed this food because like that journey like took like a certain amount of time or something.
Yeah,
or, like,
yeah.
Maybe you just need like a certain amount of like calories like in your system to like make that trek. It's almost like
Yeah.
you look at
Or
some,
you know, like he's like going out hunting and he probably like, didn't eat that day or something.
Mhm.
You know, he like I don't know, man.
Mhm. Damn. I wish he would have got
Just-
that elk though.
Yeah, me too.
Damn.
Probably like trophy elk.
Yeah. All right. I think
Well,
that's what we got. If this comes in
yeah.
a little under an hour, hey, that's fine. I don't really.
That's fine. This is just nice, just revisit.
Yeah,
you
this is
know?
a revisit here. I think it's just important to cover it again.
I can't forget about it.
Hey, maybe we'll do another one of these in like 50 episodes.
Yeah. So yeah, that was like a year ago we did this
Yeah,
one.
it really was. So
That's crazy.
we're just gonna start redoing all the old. ones.
Yeah. Last year, this year.
I was like looking at like some of the older. I think I was telling you for the old heads on this
Yeah.
channel, time splitting where we used to.
Yeah.
We used to go to different years and talk about what happened in horror and
Yeah.
probably doing something like that with like paranormal stuff might be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. One of our patrons suggested that we do like a mini series on what was it exactly? It was let's see. Again, check the Patreon, patreon.com/pumpkinhillradio. You can drop your
Yeah,
suggestions
baby.
there. You can get your ghost house shout out. What? I'm just trying to see the messages now. Thanks for hanging in, everybody. I know this is gonna be vitally important at the end here. No, they just said a spin-off segment where we study each state, or even like
Yeah.
maybe different. We could expand that to like different parts of the country or like world too.
Yeah.
But each state and like all their paranormal, cryptic, and intergalactic happenings, as they said.
Yeah.
Happenings over their history, culminating in every state's
dude.
own paranormal history.
Every state has like some weird stuff.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I love those like weird Wisconsin, weird Colorado,
Yeah.
but it's like weird. I would love to start
the
like
beast
an
of-
audio series of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Every state has a cryptid. Every state has these stories. I'd want to go. I want to make
The
it
Bray
weird.
Road Beast is a good one.
I'd want to definitely make it weird and have its own
Yeah.
Pumpkin Radio spin. So I'm not just like I don't want to just completely redo someone else's
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But I do
find like different things.
But
you know?
totally. That
Connect
was
to different stories.
Yeah.
Like we do a good job
That's
of drawing
a
lines.
good suggestion. We will definitely work that in at some point as maybe just its
Connecting
own
dots.
bonus series or something.
Yeah,
on
that'd
the
be fun.
Patreon. Who knows? But yeah, they drop suggestions like that, and you'll at least get
We
them right
love
on there
that.
like that. Yeah.
Sweet.
Someone else.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's it.
hell yeah.
I think we're good here, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This
that's
has been
about it.
Pumpkin Hill Radio.
Thanks, guys.
Check that Patreon, patreon.com/Pumpkin Hill Radio. Rate us
Yeah.
wherever you can. Review us wherever you can. Tell your friends to listen to us, to rate us, and to review us.
Yeah,
I guess that's the
baby.
same thing, rate and review. I don't know. If you have your own experience, pumpkinhillradio@gmail.com or join the Patreon. I'll get to you even faster. Take a look around the Etsy store for pins, prints, and more, and get 25% off orders of $25 or more. Usually some cool deals over there anyway, and it's just solid pricings all around. And that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah.
It's Travis Wormwood,
It's me, Dawson.
Dolphin Trailer
Dolphin.
over there. And this has been a good one, Dawson. I like some of
Yeah.
those weird ones with you.
Yeah, man.
right.
Bizarre.
You have been listening to Pumpkin Hill
All
Radio?
right.
See
Love
ya.
you. Bye. Love you.